After playing around with several different possibilities for embellishment, I came up with this one. I have this organza ribbon here, not very much of it, obviously. I think I'm going to run a piece of it around here, and then I'm going to cover that with another piece of approximately the color that's in here, and pretty, a different value, I guess, not the shade, of the little blossom that's in Cherry Blossom's hair, and put it around here also, just to embellish the waistline. Then I'm going to take some of it and run it up and over so that when it's on, that little organza will come over on her sleeves, okay, and almost be a little cap sleeve, like this. Anyway, this I will probably do by hand. This I will sew, because when I sew it, I want to catch that seam underneath and turn it up so that the skirt lays out nicely. Turn it up. Don't turn it the other way. Turn it up. And that will make a very nice little finish there. Now, I'll probably sew the two ribbons on at once, and I'll probably only sew the bottom area, not the top. There's no need to sew the top. This here, I will probably do by hand, and I will do that on the top here. And then I went and I found a little bit of lace, and I cut a little flower out. And I think I'll stick the little flower there, and I might even put a little bow here. I was considering putting the little ribbon around the neckline, but that's too much. We'll just leave the neckline plain. Anyway, let me work on that, and I'll be right back. Oh, by the way, when I do this over here, I'm going to finish the edge here, and I'm going to lay it over so that it gets picked up like this, so that it lays down nicely, so that when I put the snap on, I can catch it the rest of the way. And I finish those by just running a lighter across the edge, and that's enough to melt enough of the fiber to keep it from raveling. Anyway, let me get to that. Let me move the rest of my stuff out of the way, including Cherry Blossom, and we will do that. Okay, like I said, I want to start here, and I'm going to overlap it, and I'm going to pin that, because I also think I want to put that little ribbon down here. Now, we may do them both at once, we may not. The ribbon we might just tack on, but let's see how that's going to do. I don't know. I've got white thread in here. I think I'll change my thread to this color because that's the color I'm going to have to use when I hand stitch the rest of it. I'll be right back. By the way, I sew a lot, and I have my threads organized by color in these little drawers, and I think I have, I don't know, 5 or 6 little drawers, and I want a color similar to that. And I think that maybe is it. Back they go. I don't need to change the bobbin thread, just the top thread. first part finished. Now let's get this part done. And this I probably will just lay over here like that. Okay, like that. And I will finish that off when I come back to put the snap on. But I do need to finish the edges. And then I will pin it. I want it to come over the little sleeve like that. Now I'm not going to put the ribbon here. I think that's too much. And then I'm going to find the middle of my little dress here and mark it. And I'm going to come straight down and then straight back up like that. Over again like I did before, making sure I've got that nice and even, because I'm only going to tack it here. Coming over here, we want it lined up with the edge of the neckline, and we'll pin that. And then we'll come back down here to where it meets like that, and then I'm just going to cut it off. And trim that little thread there too. And do the edge. Now, I can trim this more later. I just don't want it to ravel while I'm at it now. Okay, so here we go. Like that. Make sure I've got it where I want it. Now it's just a matter of threading a needle and tacking those. Okay. Now, while I'm at it, I'm going to decide where I want my little flower here, and maybe I will trim my little flower a little bit more. So long as this doesn't get washed a whole bunch, this little flower should hold together. If you didn't know you could do this, if you want to, you can also use your lighter and get rid of those little edges. And also, now I have plenty more of these if I screw this one up. It's just a matter of cutting them out. Oops, and we did get that one a little bad. Oh well, I think we'll be okay. No, we got it a little burned. We'll cut another one out. Be right back. Actually, I cut two of them out. Maybe I should put the big one on there. Now we'll put the little one on there. Okay, we got that one done. So now it's just a matter of threading my needle and tacking these. I'll be right back. My needle's ready to go, and I used my beeswax because I like to use my beeswax on it. Anyway, so here where I have it tacked, I'm going to pin, I should say. I'm just going to give it a couple of tacks. Just enough to hold it in place where I want it. Only going to tack it on the inside. Just like that. I don't want that little sleeve tacked. I want that to be kind of loose. That's one. And we're going to tack this one, make sure we don't have it twisted or anything. And we don't. Nobody will ever see these. Now I'm going to wait for the other part for when I'm putting the snaps on, I think. That is the back. This part here. Well, maybe I should go ahead and tack it. It won't take but a second. I just need to put it here. And then I'm going to run a couple stitches here like this to make sure it stays down. And I'm going to call that done. Now I'm going to go to the other side. See how cute that's going to be when it's got a little snap on it. Go to the other side, pull it down. I probably got that one a little too long. Let me trim some of that off. If I can find my scissors. That one's just a wee bit too long. Let's trim that. Finish off the edge. Now let's lay that one down so that it comes in like that. Now, grab our needle and thread. We're going to put a tack here where it meets. How did I do that? There's nothing more annoying than to have it kink on you. If all else fails, you cut it and start over again. Hopefully there's enough left there to finish this. Okay, let's get this in position here. We want it to come down like that and fold over. Let's pin it. And we got our little tack here. Let's go to the back side and finish tacking it down. And we're going to have to get some more thread because we kind of messed up that one. Okay. Now, we just have this and our little flower to put on. And I got that one with no funny brown spots from my lighter. I was considering putting a little tiny bow in the middle there, and I think I might do that with the darker pink. I don't know why I'm having trouble with thread today. There we go. And I'm going to wax it. By the way, this is just a hunk of beeswax that I probably had for 30 or 40 years. Anyway, we're going to tack it here in a couple spots, just so it'll be out of the way when we sew our little flower on. Now, here's our little flower. And I think we're just going to tack it in about 3 or 4 spots. just so it'll stay in place. I'm not going to tack it on the skirt though, just up to the skirt. And we're back to where we started. And now we're going to put a little bow on it. And I just simply tie a simple bow. I don't worry about anything until I am ready to sew it on, because I'm going to adjust the legs here, and I will adjust it just the way I want, decide how big to make the bow, and trim it accordingly. Is that what I want? Yeah, that's what I want. Anyway, we're going to finish the edge here again, and we're going to sew this so it does not come untied. Put it here in the middle where we want it, like right there. Find our needle, come up from the bottom and catch all of that bow. We don't want it to come untied. When I finish this, all I have left is a couple of snaps. I think I want that to sit down a little bit, so I'll put it in place. And of course I caught the edge there, didn't I? There we go. Turn it over. Now all we have left is the snaps. Let's see how this looks. And of course we need this on so we can adjust for the snaps. There we go. And it looks like a little snap here and a little snap there will work just fine. Get some of my tails out of the way. I might want to go back and actually get some of these seams tacked down and out of the way so they're not obnoxious. Okay, let me go find my snaps and I'll be right back.